So, lads, in what is a positive sign for the Indiana Fever, we have now got something that maybe, just maybe it might point to, Sophie Cunningham. At least there being a chance of her staying with the Indiana Fever. Again, look, I think Sophie Cunningham is one of the most important pieces for the Fever to keep. I've made that very clear. My opinions on why I think Sophie Cunningham is so important, why this team, in my opinion, needs Sophie Cunningham to stay, and all of that stuff. But I'll stand by it. I will stand by it. Like, you have got players that, well, fans have just kind of want her gone for non-basketball reasons. But obviously, this is the tournament Caitlin Clark's playing in, the golf tournament. So as you guys can see, Lexie Hull is in fact a guest caddy at this golf tournament, and Sophie Cunningham. So we've seen very little posts from Sophie Cunningham when it comes to the Indiana Fever. They've posted very, very few Sophie Cunningham anythings. But at least now we've got something. We got something from Gamebridge, who are obviously very much linked with the Indiana franchises. Very much linked with the Indiana Fever. And Sophie is going to be caddying. It is going to be funny, though, if Sophie Cunningham ends up being a caddy for Caitlin. One of them hopefully is. One of them hopefully is a caddy for Caitlin. And if she is with Nelly Corda, it would be a very interesting one. Not mad at that. Trey Leshe reunion. This is a dream come true. If you're trolling, golf once again coming in clutch. By the way, if you're thinking this is fake, I think this is fake. Scott Agnes. Wait, Caitlin Clark. She's the caddy for Caitlin. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they'll be caddies for other people. But it'd be funny if they were the two guest caddies for Caitlin Clark. And obviously, look, it's something that we haven't seen. Fair. I mean, Sophie Cunningham truly masters the art of asking, shall receive. Love unapologetic goes out what she wants. At Caitlin Clark, need a couple of caddies tagging Lexie Hull. Sign us up. And all of a sudden, we're seeing Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham obviously there as a caddy. And look, there's all this like weird shit going on. And in my opinion, the WNBA is just full of just weird stuff. And it's not just about basketball. And I'm like, and I remember talking to somebody in just about everything with the WNBA. That like somebody that's in NBA media, genuinely in NBA media, last week was just chatting to them, and they said they were literally saying it to me, and they were like, it's actually at the stage where it is problematic if you are involved anything in the WNBA to not hate Caitlin Clark. They were like, in the NBA, if you were Skip Bayless hating LeBron James, you got blackballed. But if you are not Skip Bayless for Caitlin Clark, it's hard. Like, it's the public perception is that you are a horrible person. It is one of those things where it's just mad. It is just mad, but it would be funny. Oh, they are both Caitlin Clark's caddies. Officially from the thing, they'll be alongside Caitlin Clark, Nelly Corda, and Lauren Yen for an unforgettable day on November the 12th. So we have a week. We have a week now before we see Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull act as Caitlin Clark's caddy, which would be fun. Like, that should genuinely be fun. Like, for me, that would be something that I think a lot of people will be excited about or should be excited about. If people aren't, then I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like, if people, if people aren't, it makes sense because at the end of the day, look, this is nothing basketball related. It's absolutely not basketball related. But it's fun. It's fun if you're looking at your teams. And I do think the kind of off-season mystique surrounding Caitlin Clark is kind of, it is gone. And like, I do feel like this season, a lot, I think, whatever about Caitlin Clark is, I think the relevancy of women's basketball in popular culture has tanked. It has absolutely tanked. Like, I understand there are the K-pop stans that are Paige Bueckers fans, but like those guys just retweet stuff with Sabrina Carpenter profile pictures. Like, they don't actually watch games. But like, I remember years ago, like, I don't remember years ago, I remember a year ago, like, this was like the biggest deal in the world. And could you imagine if Lexie Hull was her caddy a year ago? Genuinely, that would be one of those things where it's like, it would be national news if Lexie Hull, even without Sophie Cunningham, if Lexie Hull was her caddy a year ago, it would have been national news. With players popular as Sophie Cunningham was her caddy, it would have been national news a year ago. But it's just not really at this stage. It is just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that, the relevancy of women's basketball isn't where it was. I think the women would have a much better set. Like, if Caitlin hadn't got injured, I think the CBA has already happened. I think the CBA has already happened. But like, I'm looking back on a year ago, and obviously, like, looking at this, I'm even looking at views for myself, but I'm like, Caitlin Clark's golf career is already leading to record interest in the sport. Like 10,000 views on those videos. Talking about her golf things, 20,000 views. Talking about Caitlin Clark playing golf. And heck, at this stage where it's like like, it was that relevant. It was that relevant. You had Nike execs still talking about Caitlin Clark. You had obviously stuff in the expansion draft. You had some of the Storm investigations, but you had like conversations around everything. Whereas this year, this would be something, a year ago, this would be something that'd be huge. And I do feel like it's big because now I think the mystique around Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, there were so many fans super interested in the league and want to learn about players, not just, by the way, Caitlin Clark want to learn about all the other players in the league. And I do think that's kind of gone because I think a lot of those fans have been turned off. So, as seen by, again, just the lack of interest in anything to do with WNBA right now. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are on track to lose, we've lost another 12 subscribers today after losing 10 yesterday. We are trying to get back to 57.4k. But anyway, or set down by 35k at least. We're just trying to stay over 57.3. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.